Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Myth Busting IGTV, where I am going to address all the style myths you guys have sent to me. Myths, misconceptions, rules that somewhere along the lines have been embedded up here in our brains, and I'm sure most of us don't even know why they're there, who told us, where we read it, when we read it, but they're rules and myths that we tend to live by. And the reason I wanted to do this today, it was a great suggested topic, so thank you to the follower who suggested it. But I do think those myths and those misconceptions that we all have, those rules that we place on ourselves, inevitably make dressing for ourselves, choosing what to wear, finding out our style, all it does is it place limitations on those. And you know I hate those hard and fast rules. So hopefully today I will address all your style myths and you will hopefully, as always, be able to shop easier, dress easier, and get rid of all those bloody rules and regulations that you are, and restrictions that you are placing on yourselves that just make things so much harder. And it was really interesting, out of the hundreds of responses I got, I was thinking, oh my God, this is, what have I created here, Sally? But interestingly, as I previewed on stories, even though there were hundreds of responses, I've actually been able to categorize them into 5 topics. 5 really pretty simple topics that hopefully, if I don't talk too long, I can get all this done in, say, 10 minutes today. So the 5 categories are, the first one is colour and colours, so hence why I'm wearing this dress today, to challenge your thinking. The second one is age, and there's not actually a lot in the age bracket, and I have addressed this before, but so there's age appropriate, body shape, obviously very importantly. Then I've sort of categorised just sort of general fashion and accessory rules, myths into one, and then just sort of general style rules into another. So as you can tell, there's a lot of overlap, but I'm pretty sure most of you will find I will answer your fashion and style myth somewhere in here today. All right, so let's get started with colours. So literally within minutes of me posting that question box came these 2 in particular. One was that navy and black should not be worn together and blue and green should never be seen. So 2 obvious colours, colour combinations that we've been told do not go together. So I'll start with the blue and green, what I'm wearing and what I featured in my latest post. So the thing with colour is that just like our complexions, we suit variations of colours. So some of us suit, for example, a really beautiful navy blue, and others suit a royal cobalt blue like the blazer I had on, and then others suit a more pastel baby blue. There are so many variations in colours, so how can you just say a blanket blue and green shouldn't be seen, can't be seen? It's an old-fashioned, I think, myth that I am debunking, because it depends what blue and green you're wearing together. And as you saw in those photos, there are, you know, like what I've got on today, a very neon green with a sort of a cobalt blue is a beautiful combination. Emerald green and cobalt electric blue is a beautiful combination. Khaki green and denim indigo blue is a beautiful combination. So I don't know where that myth came from, but forget it. Blue and green can definitely be seen. But like with anything, and I'll probably sound like a bit of a broken record today, I think I'm going to say this a lot. If you put it on and you feel good and you think the colours work together for you, then go for it. If it's something that you don't necessarily like and don't want to wear, that's okay as well. But personally, I think blue and green, the right blue and greens together, are a perfect combination. Now let's get on to black and navy. I think black and navy, the rules or the myths come from about blue and navy. Again, very old-fashioned, and I think this is why. I think because people people see navy and black as both being your base colours. So they're often colours that people start with and build their outfits around either black or navy. And so some people are either a navy person or a black person, so that's why they can't mix the two together. They don't like it. They're essentially putting two foundation pieces together in one outfit, whereas their mind sees it's one or the other. Here's my thing about black and navy. I think black and navy done in the right way looks really chic and really sophisticated, particularly in a smarter dressed up sense. So I think if you're a corporate woman, I love to style my clients in black and navy. So it might be a beautiful navy wool suit with a beautiful black silk blouse underneath and black heels. Again, a bit like I've talked about wearing all of the one colour together. So let's use black and navy as an example. You know, it's also about mixing up the textures. So that's why I mentioned, you know, the navy wool suit with a satin black blouse, so that there is variations in those textures when you wear them together. And maybe it might be a black leather shoe or a black suede shoe. But I think when done right, I think black and navy looks really, really sharp. And I also think it's a great look when it comes to evening wear. So I think black and navy, you know, think of a beautiful, and lots of designers have done them over the years, where a dress will have black and navy panels, and it looks beautiful together. So I think it's definitely doable. Again, I think it's just an old-fashioned myth. And the thing with colours is that, you know, we've moved on so much. I really feel that, and I've read it a lot this year in magazines and online, that sort of the... Okay, sorry about that. The phone rang even though I had my notifications off, and I also realised I still had my glasses on my head, which I don't need. So we were talking about colours and rules, and I think fashion and style in general has become a lot more relaxed. There's a lot less rules. We're a lot more rigid about do's and don'ts. Absolutely, there are going to be things that will work better for you, which I'm going to discuss, and are things that I talk about with my clients. But those hard and fast rules about you can't do this and you can only do that, it's a lot more relaxed these days, and that comes down to colours as well. And one of the other colours that was mentioned was pink and red. Now, I think pink and red is a fabulous combination, and I'm going to be featuring some, in fact, they're probably going right now, some examples of some really great red and pink outfits, which I have worn myself. So navy and black can do, blue and green can do, pink and red absolutely can do. Oh, and one other was purple and red. Purple and red is not as common a combination, and even looking on Pinterest for some examples, like I've worn red and purple together, but I think it's actually a striking combination. Wearing colours together is also all about confidence. You know, just do it, give it a go. I think where we limit ourselves to the possibilities of anything really when it comes to fashion are the limitations that we just place on ourselves. We get a little bit nervous or a bit hesitant to try something that other people might think is a bit out there or might draw too much attention to ourselves, particularly when it comes to colours. I totally get that. I've become a lot more confident with wearing bright colours in the last few years, the older I've got. And, you know, I quite like it, and it's different. And yes, it attracts attention, but that's okay. I'm happy with that to a degree. Okay, the other thing so a few more under the colour category is that black is slimming. So that was also a very common one, that there's a myth that black is a slimming colour. Look, any colour can be slimming when it suits your body type. So it can be a bright neon green, it can be black, it can be navy, it can be hot pink. The more important question to ask is, does whatever the item in whatever colour suit your shape? Does it work for your shape? Does it flatter your features? So I know a lot of women have probably been told that black is a slimming colour, but you know what? If that black outfit, that black top, that black pair of pants, that black coat, those black shoes do not flatter your shape, are baggy and boxy and shapeless in the wrong shape, then no, a black outfit is not going to be slimming on you whatsoever. So more importantly is the cut of clothing and the style of clothing to suit your shape, and that goes for any colour. Another question was black with bright colours, and that's a really interesting one because I must admit I generally don't love bright colours with black. I like bright colours with bright colours, but I'm not a big fan personally of, say, black and hot pink and black and red, for example. I prefer maybe white with those colours. So this is just a personal preference. And this is the other thing I wanted to say. Like there are so many, all these sort of myths are quite objective, really. It's what you prefer. So for me personally, do I like to colour block with black? No. I tend to colour block with colours together. So that's just me. Is it a no-no? No. But it is putting two, black is a high contrast colour. It's a strong colour. And so when you team that with another high contrast strong colour, like a red, like a hot pink, like a bright yellow, then it's two very contrasting colours. So again, it sort of comes down to the outfit and how the outfit suits you. And then the next one was autumn. If you're autumn coloured, like if you've been told you're an autumn, you can't wear white near your face. Now, I make it very clear that I am not colour trained, I'm not a colour consultant, and I really don't prescribe to those autumn, summer, cool, warm sort of rules when it comes to colours. So if you've been told you're an autumn person, and generally that means you've got some warmth with your features and colours like browns and mustards and sort of warmer, burnt oranges, burgundies, and those sort of colours suit, and probably have been told that creams are good for you. Look, put a white near your face. If you put a white t-shirt on or a white shirt and you look in the mirror and you think, yeah, that looks cool, but hang on, I've been told I'm an autumn. Well, just make your own judgment. Then put a cream on and see if you see the difference. So and I can't remember if I've said this before, I probably have, but the thing that I don't like about when I have a client, so here's my experience. When I have a client, and I've talked a lot about this with my stylist Lorraine, who agrees, when we have clients who have had their colours done, we don't feel it does them any advantage. We see it as a disadvantage because we feel, from our experience, that it puts them in a box. What it does is it limits their choices. So when you've had your colours done and you're told that you can wear this variation of this colour and these tones, well, then you might dismiss a fabulous neon green, dress because, oh no, it's not on my colour chart. So just, again, be a little bit more relaxed and open. There are always going to be, rules that can be broken and variations of those rules. So don't be so hard and fast. Okay, so they're the colours done. I'm looking at the time. Well, it's not too bad. I'm going to leave age, I think, until the end because I had some very interesting questions about age, and, we'll get back to that whole objective, maybe subjective, I don't know. Okay, so shape, so general body shape style myths. If you've got big feet, you can't wear white shoes. Rubbish. I've got a size 11 foot, size 42, and I love white shoes, as you know. It does depend on the shape of the shoe. So probably, maybe 5 years ago, before the height of the white sneaker, I might have said, oh God, my feet are big, my feet in white sneakers are going to look huge, but you know what, they don't. And the other thing to consider is most women, if you've got a big foot, I'm going to assume that you're tall. If you're 5'3", you don't have a size 11 foot. So it's all relative. So no, I don't think tall women cannot wear white shoes. Okay, so that's a no, that's debunked. And then this one. All right, tall ladies, what's going on? Tall women shouldn't wear heels to then be taller than their partners. What a load of shit. Again though, I've had a lot of clients over the years who have had this. It's not really a myth, it's just a belief. It's a preference, I suppose. And it almost sort of makes me, have a bit of a tear because I just think, being tall, in my opinion, is such a great asset. height is a wonderful thing, and I've not always been comfortable with my height, but certainly the older I've got, the more comfortable I've been with being tall. My husband is about half an inch taller than me, and I could not give a rat's, and neither could he, if we go out and I wear some heels and I'm taller than him. Embrace your height, ladies. Height is a great asset. Most other women are envious of height. Many men love a tall woman. So I think that myth is absolute rubbish. If you have a fabulous pair of heels and you feel great wearing them and you're taller than everyone else in the room, who gives a shit? Okay. This one was also a very common question. Petite women can't wear maxi skirts or maxi dresses. I've talked about this a lot. Yes, you can, absolutely. If you are petite, if you are a shorter woman, there are things that you just need to consider to make sure that that maxi dress or that maxi skirt doesn't overwhelm you. And I've talked a lot about maxi skirts and midi skirts in particular, that even if you're petite, you can wear a longer skirt as long as it sits up nice and high on your waist. That's the most important thing when it comes to a maxi or a midi skirt. If we flip it to a dress, it's kind of the same principle. So if you are wearing a maxi dress and you are petite, either make sure it comes in at the waist, so you can add a belt, maybe it's got a little self-elastic waistband there, or if it's just A-line like this dress that I've got on now and has no shape, then make sure perhaps the shoulders are out. So make sure it maybe has, and you can sort of see this dress actually, if this was sleeveless, you can see it would have a nice halter neck. So because everything else is covered, absolutely, petite women can look and feel a bit overwhelmed. But if you have some skin showing up top, so have the shoulders out, maybe even it has a V-neck, showing some skin up here will help balance the volume of fabric down below. So either in at the waist or showing some skin up the top, or maybe putting like a little cropped denim jacket over the top. So again, we're drawing the eye to the waist. So even if you don't visually have have a belt on, where the jacket or the little cardi maybe finishes at the narrowest point. So it's all about sort of drawing the eye and creating that illusion. So absolutely you can wear, petite women can wear maxi dresses, maxi skirts, you can wear them with flat shoes. It's all about making sure that the dress doesn't overwhelm you by showing some shape somewhere else, which is at the waist or shoulders, neckline, etc. Okay. Big boobs and high necklines. So here's the thing. So dressing and for your body shape is all about the illusion that whatever you wear creates. So whatever an item of clothing highlights. So we can all wear clothing in a certain way that creates an illusion that our shape is different than it is. So when you're narrow-shouldered, for example, you can wear a structured jacket with perhaps a little shoulder pad. That gives the illusion that your shoulders are broader. So with the whole boobs and the high neckline question, and it is one of my, when I work with clients and who are big busted, and I send them what I call I've got like style plan, and under big boobs it has, these are the things that are suggested, and then these are the things to maybe consider to avoid. But they're not hard and fast, they're just suggestions and ideas, and one of them absolutely is to avoid high necklines, particularly a turtleneck. Here's the theory behind it though. It's because, and I'm pretty sure I've covered this before, it's if you wear a turtleneck and you've got very big boobs, then where the turtleneck starts and the bottom of your boob, so it creates this lengthening effect. So what it effect does, and it's probably hard for me to show you in this dress, but it creates length. So it can make your bust look like it's sitting much lower than it is. Bigger busts are heavier, so they tend to sit lower, and really important that you have a good bra. But with the high neckline, it's almost as though the boobs have got nowhere to go. So they are very much on show, and they look as big as they are. That's the thing. So when you wear a high, tight neckline, your bust line will be accentuated. Now, if you're big busted and you want your bust to be obvious, then go for it. That's the perfect way to do it, is to wear a high turtleneck to really show off your bust. That's exactly what it's going to do. But what a V-neck or a scoop neck, I did talk about this in my white, in fact, I've talked about it a lot, but most recently in my white t-shirt. Why big busted women have probably been told to avoid a high neckline and instead go for a V or a scoop is because it breaks up this area. So rather than creating a square and creating that distance, whether it's a crew neck, a turtleneck, and that distance from here to here and sort of a shelf situation, what a V-neck or a scoop neck does is it does break it up and it does minimise the size of the bust. So it's all about how things visually look in the clothes that you wear. I hope that makes sense. So again, ladies, if you have a big bust and you are comfortable with accentuating and showing off your big bust and you love a high turtleneck neckline and you look in the mirror and you feel good, then wear it. But you will notice that when you wear something softer, that the bust visually looks smaller. And that's the answer to that question. And that's probably why it is a little bit of a rule for many big busted women, because it's about how they feel. And maybe they feel, or you feel better when the neckline is a little bit lower. It's as simple as that. Horizontal stripes equally. So a lot of women have been told if they carry their weight in their upper body, bigger boobs, bigger tummy, generally broader up top, that you can't wear horizontal stripes. I'm also going to debunk that myth. However, there are, like everything, some examples and variations of horizontal stripes that you can choose. So if you are someone who is bigger busted, big in the tummy, broader in your upper body in general, I would not put you in a wide horizontal stripe. Okay, so if I was shopping with you, I would not choose a horizontal stripe that's, let's just say, 1 inch wide. And I would definitely not choose a horizontal stripe where the base colour was mainly white. So if you want to wear a horizontal stripe, just keep them nice and narrow and preferably of darker combinations. So yes, it can be a white and navy, it can be a black and white stripe, but keep the variation of the stripes the same. So, let's just say the stripes are 5 centimetres, making sure that there's that similarity in the stripes throughout the stripe t-shirt, throughout the pattern. So yes, you can wear stripes, but visually, again, it all comes down to visuals. A wide, blocky horizontal stripe absolutely draws the eyes widthways. And if you don't want to look wider, then keep your stripes narrower. However, if you want to look wider, so this is where a wide horizontal stripe works really well on someone who's more of a pear shape, who carries their weight in their lower body and is smaller up top. A beautiful wide boat neck, 3/4 sleeve, horizontal stripe top looks fantastic on your shape because it helps to balance out your proportions. So the bigger your upper body is, keep your stripes small, and if you're smaller on the lower body, then you can go a bit bigger with your stripes. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Pear shapes can't wear skinny jeans, absolute rubbish, but it is about, again, finding a skinny jean that flatters your shape. So a pear shape is someone who is curvier in the hips and the bum. So I would put a pear shape into a skinny jean that is a solid denim. So something that doesn't have a lot of fading, that certainly doesn't have that whiskering across the hips, across that widest part, and something that is also a nice, supportive, strong, rigid denim. So again, it's not that a pear shape can't wear skinny jeans, it's just about choosing the right jeans. A high rise, a rigid denim, a flat denim with no whiskering or rips or anything like that, Probably a darker colour. That doesn't have to be really dark blue or black, but the darker colour, the clean dark blue denim, black denim jean is definitely doable and flattering on a pear shape. So it's about choosing the right pair of jeans rather than just saying, oh no, I'm this shape, I can't wear a skinny jean. Bigger women, no white bottoms. Okay, so another one. So the myth is that if you're a bigger lady, if you maybe carry your weight on the lower body, then you can't wear white on the lower body. Again, that's rubbish. You can wear white. It's about choosing a fabric and a shape that works for you. So again, if you're someone who's bigger on the lower body, would I put you in a high stretch, type bengaline type stretchy pull-on pant? Probably not, because that's going to cling, it's going to show lumps and bumps, and it probably will exaggerate your lower body. It possibly will make you look bigger. What I would look for is a more rigid fabric. So if it was a pant, for example, or a jean, I would look for something like a really nice heavy drill cotton that supported that area, that gave support to the hips and the thighs and the bum rather than grabbed and was clingy. Or perhaps I would choose a beautiful white skirt that nipped you in at the waist, highlighted the smaller waist, and then just sort of glided over the hips. So it's not that if you're this shape, you can't wear this colour. It's about finding the right shape in the right fabric, in the colour to work for you. Pear shapes should also avoid patterns on the lower body. So I think this is just a general one for people to, people think that patterns make them look bigger and have perhaps been told that, if you're, again, bigger on the upper body, bigger on the lower body, then choose block colours. Again, it just depends on the pattern. It really depends on the pattern. And I think the more important thing to consider with this is, what is that base colour? So it could be, so if you're, let's just say pear shape, because that's the question, so bigger bottom, bigger on the lower legs, bigger thighs. Yes, you can wear a pattern skirt or a pattern pant, but maybe not white with a red floral. Maybe it would be a black with a red floral. So the base colour is dark, so the base colour will be more flattering. Dare I say, I don't like more slimming. And then the pattern is not quite, there's not the contrast between light and dark is not quite so great. So also keep the patterns smaller. So on the bigger part, half, whatever part of your body that you're not as confident with, stick to smaller patterns. Smaller patterns will visually be more flattering, but also patterns are also a good camouflage. So when you're wearing particularly something fitted, and you want to disguise any lumps or rolls or whatever, it's actually really hard to hide those in a block colour when it's worn in a firm way. But if that's, let's take the classic wrap dress, like a jersey, stretchy wrap dress that really does follow the line of the body. I dress a lot of my clients in these, and they might be initially a bit scared because I think, oh my God, that's going to be way too tight. But because it's got a pattern, the eye just doesn't stop and sort of prop on anything in particular. It keeps moving around, and a pattern will also, what it basically does is it helps to disguise those areas that you're concerned about, particularly if you're wearing something that is more fitted and fits closer to your body. A pattern can really work to your advantage. And I think that was the last question under shape. I'm mindful that I've gone on for 20 odd minutes, so I'm going to stop now and we'll do a part 2, and let me know what you think. Hopefully I have answered some of your questions, and those myths may be no longer.